Hey, welcome to Timber and Steel. Just finished dropping the kids off at school. It's a little bit of a regular morning for me today, which means it's not an early morning. And now I'm off to the gym to try to connect with a nutrition client. She is currently doing a personal training session with my wife. And then I'm going to try to connect with her after that if I get there in time. We've kind of been playing hit and miss. We've both been sick the last few weeks, and so we've missed our standing appointments. And so I need to check in with her and see how she's doing on her nutrition homework and see if there's any way I can help her. And then we'll have our regular meeting later this week.
I'm doing a short little walk to get to the gym this morning. Parked a few blocks away. Here I'm checking in with that nutrition client I mentioned earlier, just to see how she's doing, how things are going. She's been working with me for about a month now, and she's been doing personal training along with that. And so she's kind of getting her feet wet and getting started, and we're eager to encourage her and help her reach her goals. After that short little check-in, I spend a decent amount of my time doing administrative things. As a gym owner, I got to focus on the business and make sure that it's running smoothly and that we're trying to get new members in. We're able to help people more and make sure that we're doing our best. So this day I was working on improving some search engine optimization for our website. We're always trying to keep on top of that stuff and make sure that we're not letting the technology pass us up. And so I was working on some of that stuff at the back end. And then we're getting geared up to launch a online nutrition program where people have some independent study stuff. It's got 12 modules in it. And so I've spent a good portion of the morning trying to write copy or content for that and get that organized and put together. And so hopefully we'll be able to get that finished up and going in the near future.
All right, so this is what we have going on in our group classes today. We've had, at this point in the day, we've already had 2 group classes early this morning, and then at least 1 personal training session going on. But today's an interesting day. So every week we have one of these days in our program for our group sessions, and we call it a skill day or a 4 quality day. Basically, it's a day where we slow down a little bit, but because we're slowing down and focusing on skills that are harder, we actually end up working as hard or even harder than days where maybe we're trying to push intensity and move quickly between things. So what we have on the docket today, if I can get this up here and you can see the screen. So we have 4 rounds, 4 quality of 5 sandbag squats, 5 dumbbell shoulder press, chin over the bar hold for 20 seconds, and a bottom of the ring dip hold for 20 seconds. So the sandbags, we've got sandbags over here, and we've got several that are 50-pound sandbags, we've got 100-pound sandbags, and we've got a 150 in this big one here. And what we're asking people to do today is they've got to pick up this sandbag, something that they can do a minimum of 5 times. So it says 5 on the workout, but what we're wanting them to do is somewhere between 5 and 10 and have it be a maximal effort. So a minimum of 5, but no more than 10. So they want to pick a weight that's going to be a struggle that they can do somewhere in there, and they're going to hit that failure point before they get to 10. And so they're going to have to struggle and work really hard to get that sandbag up into like a bear hug sort of position, and then do some front squats with that sandbag. And then they'll set that down. They can rest a little bit. They're going to go do exactly the same thing with some dumbbell shoulder press, pressing up overhead. And so in that, they're going to be hitting that some shoulder fatigue. But the shoulders are already going to be kind of pre-fatigued from bear hugging that sandbag and doing a maximal effort lift with that. And then they'll go do the same thing. They're going to pick a weight on the shoulder press. They can hit 5 at a minimum, no more than 10 at a maximum, and continue to like push really, really hard to get through those 5 to 10 lifts. Then they're going to find themselves a pull-up bar. So we've got pull-up bars all around here, and they're just going to grab, and they can do a chin-up grip, they can do an overhand grip, whatever, and try to get their chin up above the height of the bar, and they're going to hold that for 20 seconds. Now, most people can't do that, but that's just because they can't do it doesn't mean that's not what we write. That's kind of the goal, what we aspire to be able to do. So then we have to figure out, how do we scale that? How do we modify that for people so that they can get the most out of that training? They can get the most stimulus that's closest to being able to hold their chin over the bar for 20 seconds. And then after that, then we go and do, we're gonna do some bottom of the ring, a ring dip hold. So we have rings, there's a set here. And if I get onto the ring here, so ring dip, right, we're pressing from up here, and then we're lowering ourselves down. And so getting into this bottom of the position of the rings that's the bottom of the ring dip. So they're going to get up that, and ideally they're going to have their feet off the ground, right? And hold in that bottom position, trying to build strength there and stability, because those rings are going to shake all over the place. They're going to be all wobbly. So we're working on some bent arm strength in both that pulling and pressing positions today. And that's an isometric. So they're not actually moving, they're just holding that. And so we're going to go through 4 rounds of that and rest as they need to in between each of those things, so they can put a maximal effort into each one of those exercises as they do that. Yeah, that's what we have for our group classes going on today. And there's a class coming up here in about a half an hour that I'm coaching some of the afternoon classes.
Each of our classes starts with a discussion about what the workout is, what's going on in that class today. We have little icebreaker questions, so we kind of break down some barriers, help people get to know each other. We really want to get them set up for the workout, and then we go into a very structured warm-up where we're preparing the body for the workout we're about to do. We go through the demonstration of the movements, we get people practicing the movements, and we're deciding on a weight that's appropriate for them. Here Brian's working on those isometric holds of that bottom of the ring dip and working really, really hard and holding for that full 20 seconds. Here we got a quick time lapse of my afternoon classes and everything we got going on. A lot of people in and out, getting some work done, getting fitter, having a good time. And that's really, really important, because if we don't have a good time, we're not going to stick with it, and then we're not going to see the results that we want. At the end of the class, we spend some time working on mobility. Sometimes we'll do this before the class. Here we spent some time working on shoulders today, so we're trying to loosen up this internal rotation of the shoulder, allowing people to have more range of motion, more access to their range of motion, which is just in the end run going to improve their quality of life. Then after everything's done, it's important that our facility is clean. We want to do everything we can with excellence. So where the sandbags are usually stored, those don't get moved all the time. So before I put them back in their location, I'm going to vacuum up all that stuff. We had that garage door open, so some leaves and stuff had blown in. I'm going to make sure I get those cleaned up. We believe that we should do everything with excellence and put our 100% into everything that we do. And so it's important that we take this time and make sure our facility is clean for people. And then sadly, or not so sadly, I have to pick up those sandbags and put them away. So they go under these little shelves here. So it's kind of awkward to get them in underneath there, but that's where we store them, and that's okay. We'll get it done. And then I'll do a little bit more vacuuming. We had some chalk spilled. People holding on to the pull-up bars and holding on to the rings. We had some chalk on their hands, and so we want to make sure we get that cleaned up so it's not when it's over here on the floor. Make sure we get that cleaned up so that people coming in the next morning don't see a dirty floor. And once I get all that vacuuming done, then it's time to shut off the lights and head home.
Well, that's it. That's all we got for today. It was a full day, and that's great. We had a good time. So fitness isn't always about looking a certain way. It isn't about doing the coolest exercises. It's about doing what works, keeping it simple, and working hard. And we checked those boxes today. All right, we'll see you next time.